Hi, and welcome to the And One podcast. I am your host, Alex West, and it is July 1st, a very exciting day. It's the first day of NBA free agency, and it is the launch day for the 94 Feet Report. So make sure and check it out online at 94feetreport.com. It's going to be your source for all your NBA needs, free agency, all the way into the regular season. Make sure and check it out and bookmark it and like it and share it and all the things that you do on social media with the 94 Feet Report. Today on the show, I'm joined by Kelly Iko. We talk about free agency, and we talk about where we think some guys are going to land. So it's a pretty great show. Stay tuned. Brent, take us away. I'm joined now by Kelly Iko. Kelly, how are you today, sir?
What's up, guys? What's up? Glad to have you on board.
Thanks, man. We're glad to have you on the show. It has just been a week of getting new people on the show and hearing all kinds of opinions, so we're excited to have you on board to talk about free agency. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
About myself, I go to UT, economics major. Hopefully done in December.
Okay.
What else? Austin's kind of boring.
All right.
Yeah. I'm sick of it.
You're just ready to be done. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
All right.
I write for the Drew Shake. 16 wins a ring. Work at ESPN 975 Houston. I'm an intern there.
Okay.
And I'm an editor at SB Nation Radio. So
you're a man who wears many hats. It seems like a lot of people on the 94 Feet Report do that. What are you going to be doing for the 94 Feet Report?
I will be doing NBA in general. I'm more of a Rockets guy, but really, I'll do podcasts like right now, being a guest, Periscope, Facebook Live, the whole 9 yards. So I'm really game for anything.
You're just a media guru. Well, that gives me a good segue since you said you're a Rockets guy. Let's start there. We're going to work our way around the free agents, but let's start. What was your initial reaction to the Chris Paul trade? Do you feel good about that as a Rockets fan?
Yeah. I guess the Spurs, I don't know if you guys saw it, but the lack of a second ball handler really crippled our offense, where the Spurs were just comfortable with sitting back and allowing Eric Gordon or whoever to get into the paint, knowing they wasn't going to take a mid-range jumper. They was just going to dribble and look for a three-point shot, and it just got so predictable. So us having a second guy like Chris that can probe the offense and create for himself and others would be so key.
Yeah, I really like that. I know a lot of people, there has been a lot of commentary about how it works. James Harden was the number one ball handler in the league last year. Chris Paul was number 7. There's a lot of question about how that will work, but I think it's pretty simple that if you can obtain better ball handlers, you'll probably have a better offense. And I don't think there's any going to be... There will be kinks, obviously, to working them together, but I feel like it's going to work pretty well and let James Harden and Chris Paul create off the ball sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you feel like they gave up a lot? I mean, the list of names kept growing over the afternoon.
Like 25 people. That's what it's up.
I think the Clippers have a whole D-League team now.
I mean, if you think about it, Bev, Lil Will, Decker. All right. Well, Lou Will was kind of a weird deal. Like the whole 3 months was kind of weird. Like having 2 6 men.
Yeah.
So you have to leave. Bev, it hurts to leave Bev, but people forget that Chris Paul is an 8-time All NBA defensive team. Like he is no slouch on defense.
That's true.
And I wrote on this for 16 wins ring, and it's like. We're getting a future Hall of Famer. So when that opportunity comes, you do what you got to do, and you worry about the fit later. So I feel like it wasn't too much.
You sound like Daryl Morey. That's what Daryl Morey said, too. It's like whenever you can get your hands on a Hall of Famer, an all-star, that kind of thing, you do it and you figure it out while you go.
Yeah.
All right, well.
And it's like,
oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say about Sam Decker. Like, I don't know if you saw on Twitter, but they said the real reason why he got traded 2 weeks ago, someone asked him Xbox or PS4, and he said PS4, and Daryl Morey quoted and said the wrong answer.
So that's it. See you, Sam Decker. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I think that's a very good trade across the board. Just getting a hold of Chris Paul is going to do wonders for Houston. Do you think that there's another deal out there? Do you think there's still? I mean, obviously they're going to still try for a guy like Paul George, but I was talking to Ben yesterday on the podcast, and
Yeah.
we talked about what was left in the tank for the Rockets, and it feels like they have a good trade piece in Clint Capella. They have an okay trade piece in Eric Gordon, and then they have a lot of things like Ryan Anderson's deal, and then there's not a lot left in the tank. Do you feel like,
As far as adding,
yeah, as far as adding another piece?
okay, here's the way I see it. The biggest albatross we have right now is finding somebody we can like basically drug to take Ryan Anderson's contract.
Okay.
So that's what happened. I don't know who would take it. Maybe I saw a rumor going on where they would require like what kind of pick or something.
Sacramento wanted 2 firsts to take him, and he's from the Bay. I mean, he's from Sacramento, so like that was to send him home, and they wanted 2 firsts. I kind of feel like if there's a deal, I know a lot of people are thinking Melo's going to get bought out, but I don't think he will because there's 2 years left. But I do feel like the Knicks would trade him for 35 cents on the dollar, and I feel like Ryan Anderson's contract is a big part of that.
Cut ties with
You know, like you can ship him out, and then maybe you might have to give up Chinanu Unuwaka-Ku. Boy, I really butchered that one. And then maybe Isaiah Hartenstein. Like, there are young guys on the Rockets that you may have to ship out to make that Knicks deal work. But I think that they'll be
another thing about Paul Mills. I see what you're saying. It could go 2 ways. If the Rockets can find someone to take his contract, then they can seriously go after Millsap or George or Carmelo. But as far as the Knicks go, yeah, I feel like New York at this point will just be satisfied with just cutting ties with him.
Yeah.
And I hope that would happen. The more the merrier. We need all the help we can get.
Whoever wants to come down your game for that.
Yeah.
I think that they could probably get something done. I don't know that James Dolan is going to be willing to eat $45 million, which is what he has 2 years and about $45 million left on his deal. Melo does. I'm not sure that James Dolan's going to be willing to eat it, but I do think that you're right that they're ready to cut ties with him. And so if Houston can put together a presentable trade package, probably that includes a first-round pick at some point, I think that would probably get the deal done. So let's talk about Paul George. I know everybody wants to talk about Paul George. Do you think Paul George is getting moved in the next week? I mean, free agency starts at midnight. Where do you think he's going to end
up? Funny enough, I just finished my piece for the 94 feet on this. It took me like 5 in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. But if I'm a betting man, I'm saying I don't think he's going to Boston.
Okay.
Simply from the fact that he might be tired of the East. Like, his comments about LeBron after the sweep were really clear that he's sick and tired of the East playing LeBron.
Okay.
So, and whatever Boston does, I don't think that's getting them past Cleveland. It might get them a game or two, another game, maybe a game 7, but I don't think they're going to beat them. So, I think he's going out west.
All right.
With that being said, Houston is a long shot. Seeing that, I don't want us to I don't want to lose Gordon, and I don't want to lose anything else apart, as opposed to just Ryan Anderson, and some change.
Yeah.
But Houston or the Lakers, you think the Lakers would wait till next year?
See, I've been battling with the same thing myself. Like,
the only guy he would not trade is Brandon Ingram. So.
I've been battling with the same thing because their thought process is Paul George is going to come to them next summer, which is fine and fair. But if I'm the general manager of the Lakers, if I'm Magic Johnson, if I'm Rob Pelinka, like, I don't want Paul George to get to Houston or to get to Cleveland or to get to Boston, to get to one of these teams that can compete and learn to love the competitive atmosphere and have a potential to sign an extension. If I'm LA, I think you got to start looking to make a trade yourself. And unfortunately, Brandon Ingram is their trade piece. But at what point do you just say, all right, we're trading a guy who can be an all-star for a guy who is an all-star? And I think they start to explore those options. Maybe they try to move Randall and Clarkson and a couple of picks and, some of the other expendable pieces they have. But at some point, I feel like they have to play their trump card and just get in there and try and make the deal so that they get Paul George now.
As opposed to wait, because you never know what happens in the year. He might get hurt or something.
Yeah.
So I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right, so let's talk about free agents. Some of these are going to be a lot more exciting than others. I feel like when we talk about some free agents, it's just going to be pretty cut and dry. So let's go ahead and start with Steph Curry. Where do you feel Steph Curry's going to land in free agency?
Oh. Warren. He's not going anywhere.
He's gonna be a Hornet, right? No.
He's from Charlotte.
Yeah, he is. He went to Davidson, which is right outside Charlotte. But I don't think the draw of playing with Dwight Howard and Malik Monk is pulling him away from the Warriors who've been to 3 straight NBA Finals.
Malik would be pretty nice though. If Malik plays how he played at Kentucky.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be a pretty good shooting team, but
I don't think he wants to go put Kid Gilchrist in there.
Yeah, there you go. And they still have a Zeller, right? Yeah, they got Cody Zeller. Yeah. So, I mean, there's your team right there. We're done. That's easy. See you in the finals. All right, Steph Curry. No chance he's leaving Golden State. No, nothing. That's pretty boring. Let's go to the next boring one. Get these boring ones out of the way to start with. Let's talk about Kevin Durant. Where's Kevin Durant going to land?
He is not going anywhere. He's staying.
Yep.
0 out of 10.
All right, 0 out of 10. All right. Now we've got those taken care of.
Everybody on Twitter, like for the past 2 weeks, you seen it? I know you've seen his tweets. He got too much time on his hands now. I remember this point. He never used to tweet anybody, and now he's tweeting everybody. Anybody can get it. He's
the best thing about Durant was he was on Bill Simmons' podcast like 2 days after the championship, and he said that he was sad that the season was over because he was playing his best ball. Like he just wanted to get out there and ball regardless of where it was. So I imagine he's just probably out in Oakland, just beating up on people at on some corner court somewhere because he said he was too in the zone to quit playing basketball. All right, now we can talk about the exciting ones. Let's start with Blake Griffin. Where do you think Where do you think he's going to land? Do you think he's LA bound?
See, this is interesting. To me, I think it's a conspiracy theory. I think that yes, Miami is intriguing. Boston is intriguing. The Thunder. But the Thunder will have to make a lot of moves because they're strapped for cash right now.
Yeah, they do.
Let's have Cantor and Adams for like $45 million combined. So good luck with that. But Blake, I feel like the report that came out with it saying that he might be out till December, I feel like it was leaked from the Clippers.
Interesting. Okay. I love conspiracy theories, Kelly. That's one of my favorite things. So lay the conspiracy theory on me. You think they're trying to drive the price down?
They don't want him to leave. Yeah, they're trying to scare away a potential. I know he's going to be with the Suns. The Suns don't give a crap. Yeah, you have 2 broken legs. Get him in the door. They need talent.
Yeah,
but I'm guessing he stays a Clipper. I would be really surprised if he joined the Suns.
Do you think they're going to give him that max deal, that 5th year that they can give to him?
No.
Okay, that's what I've been thinking too.
Like Jerry West, well, Doc would, but now they have Jerry West, and to me, I feel like Jerry West has this whole plan. you know how Iggy's a free agent too? I feel like he might even try and bring Iggy to the Clippers, and he might try to start something new.
Yeah.
So it might be a clash between him and Doc, what they want to do, you know. So I would guess that Blake either stays as a Clipper or joins the Suns.
All right. What are you putting the odds at?
Of him leaving?
Yeah.
3 out of 10.
3 out of 10 of him
3.
leaving. Seven out of 10 him staying. All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about another guy whose departure has been much discussed, especially on Twitter. Let's talk about Gordon Hayward.
Oh, where is he gonna go? You saw his wife talking about she's tired of Utah and stuff, cold, and she wants to be in Miami.
I did see that.
And they do say happy wife, happy life, but I mean everybody's tying to Boston for obvious reasons, you know, because of the coach and everything, and Isaiah Thomas and what they could Horford. But are you that much better than Utah if you go there?
I think the one thing about leaving Utah to me is that you leave behind Rudy Gobert, and Rudy Gobert can cover up so many sins defensively. Like, he's such a good shot blocking center. He's such a good defensive center. He's second place voting for Defensive Player of the Year. I think you're hard pressed to look around and go, what's a better landing spot? I mean, and Miami has Whiteside, which is definitely something, but Boston does not have that rim protector to cover up your defensive sins if you're Gordon Hayward.
So I would see him going to Miami more likely than Boston.
Okay. What do you?
I think.
What do you put the odds on? Where do you put the odds everywhere?
It's like 50-50.
Okay, 50-50.
Boston and Miami.
And
I know
and 0% on Utah.
You know what? Yeah, only because he's meeting with them last. Like he won't be with the Jazz until July 3rd.
Yeah,
and he might have already made up his mind by the middle of the day tomorrow. Like, so the fact that they're getting a meeting last, it's like they're kind of getting the short end of the stick.
Yeah,
I figured you knew first, but hey, I'm not an NBA player, so I don't know. What do I know?
So you think 0% chance he stays, 50-50 between Boston and Miami?
Let me not say 0. Let me say 20% chance he stays, 40-40.
Okay, 20, 40, 40. All right, that's a pretty good breakdown. Another exciting player is actually somebody from the Warriors, and somebody you mentioned already, Andre Iguodala. I know that a bunch of teams are courting Andre Iguodala. He's gone.
He's gone. By the time Golden State finishes their business locking up Durant and Steph, the luxury tax is going to be too high to bring him back for what he's going to command on the open market. He's looking at what, 16 to 20 million?
Yeah, that's what I saw
per
too.
year. A team was going to throw that at him. Brooklyn might throw it at him. The Jazz said if they lose Hayward, they would probably go after him. I think he goes to the Clippers though.
You think he goes to the Clippers? I'd heard that Philadelphia was also looking to pay him since they have kind of an up and coming roster. Yeah.
Wow. How many? That would be crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely something they need with all their young guys. They need somebody who has championship medal.
Yeah.
So what do you put the odds at for Iguodala? You think he's
for
gone? Yeah, for leaving.
10 out of 10, he's not coming back.
All right. And where would you said he's going to end up in LA? What do you think your LA chances are?
35.
All right.
35 and Philadelphia 55.
Okay.
Simply because Philadelphia could throw more money.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're trying to.
All right, so Iggy's out. Blake, you think's staying. Hayward's gone. Iggy's gone.
Yeah.
All right, that's where we are so far. But you did think that Steph Curry and Kevin Durant are staying. So I got to give you that. Another guy who there's been a lot of talk about leaving is Kyle Lowry. I know that something came out a couple weeks ago about him being unhappy in Toronto. What do you think about Kyle Lowry?
As a player?
Sure.
He's a great player. It's just I don't know what the heck happens to him the first 3 games of any playoff series. He's like, oh, the playoff started. So, I think people there are ties to him going back to Philly, and they could like going back to the Iguodala point. They could use a mentor, for Fultz and everything. Um, who else is there out there they could go to? You could always stay in Toronto. Oh, don't sleep on the Spurs.
Don't sleep on the Spurs. Okay. I'd also heard Minnesota as potential landing spot. Yep.
Ooh. Wow, like that. Ooh, that.
Is that your new favorite landing spot for Lowry?
I think so.
Okay.
Hold on. I got to rank them.
All right.
Timberwolves, Spurs, Sixers. Yeah.
All right. And Toronto last on that list.
Yeah, he's tired of Toronto.
All right.
This is what LeBron does. He just drains you mentally. You can't just get the gang back together and try it again because it's not going to work. You're going to lose in vibes every time.
Yeah. I mean, and stats bear that out. Like, when was the last time LeBron wasn't in the NBA Finals from the Eastern Conference? Like 2010?
Exactly.
He's just mentally wearing people out. I think Lowry in Minnesota would be interesting. One of the problems that I have with Minnesota just right off the bat right now, and it's obviously a fixable problem, but Jimmy Butler's not a great shooter. If you add Lowry, he's not a great shooter. Wiggins is a pretty streaky shooter. And Towns is probably their best shooter, and he's probably like a 36% shooter. You don't have a lot of guys who can stretch the floor with that lineup, so I don't know. I mean, I'd also heard George Hill might be a target of theirs, and George Hill's a much better shooter.
Thibodeau sense, yeah. Probably go for Jersey. I would say Kawhi goes to Spurs.
Okay. I mean, and that's a good pickup for them. I mean, and I know that they said that they weren't interested in Chris Paul because they had Tony Parker, which was a little bit of a joke to me, but
that's the best agent person. Everybody, come on now. No.
Adding Lowry would be a pretty big pickup for them, and I think they don't have to move a ton around with Paul Gasol opting out. Like they have a decent amount of money.
I saw that. That was when they were trying to go for Chris Paul.
Yeah, they got it. They got money. Okay. All right, last one. Paul Millsap. What do you think about Paul Millsap? Is he leaving Atlanta?
Oh yeah, he's definitely he's getting out of town.
All right, he's gone.
No, that's it. Yeah, he's gone. He's not sticking around for whatever the heck they're trying to do. I don't know what they're trying to do.
I
go in 3 different directions.
I think they're trying to rebuild, but I'm not sure.
I thought they did that last year.
You never know.
I think it comes to Houston. That's a Dale Morey trade. A pick up right all. That's just sounds like up his alley. He's basically Ryan Anderson with defense and a more consistent shot in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Ryan Anderson shot 12% at home in the playoffs.
Ryan Anderson did not have a great playoffs. I heard this crazy story. God. I heard this crazy story, and you may be able to confirm it. You may have heard it. You may not have. I heard that Ryan Anderson is red-green colorblind, and that when he plays in Houston, he has a hard time seeing the basket because a lot of things are red around the rim, and so it's hard for him to differentiate the basket from the background. Have you heard that?
That might be true. Okay, if that's you, then bye. You need someone that can see all colors at all times. Sorry. No discrimination.
you don't want the discriminating between red and green. But I heard that during the playoffs because he had shot so bad when they played in Houston, and then on the road had shot pretty well. And I heard the story was that he was red-green colorblind and he couldn't see, he couldn't pick out the basket when he played at home. And I just thought that was the craziest thing I'd ever heard.
That is the wackiest thing I've ever heard in the playoff series.
Now maybe that's somebody making up an excuse, which is entirely possible. But I just thought that was such a bizarre story.
That is bizarre. That is definitely bizarre.
I really like Paul Millsap's fit in Houston. He's a 4 who can stretch the floor. He shoots a lot of mid-range jumpers, which I kind of think they probably need to work into their game because, like you said earlier, San Antonio just sat back and let him have the whole middle of the floor because they knew they weren't going to do anything.
it's so diverse with Chris Paul, and Millsap shooting it. Like, oh, that would be so beautiful.
Yeah, I would think that would give them another element to their game. And I know it's not Morey ball to shoot those mid-range jumpers. And I always have to be careful with all you 94 feet guys. We've got about 15 Rockets guys on 94 feet.
Yeah, it's too many.
I always have to be careful about saying anything about the Rockets because I know there's like 12 of you who are going to jump on me in our Slack chat. Well, that's pretty much the list of free agents. I think it's going to be pretty exciting. I'm not sure who's going to sign tonight at midnight, but I think there'll be a lot of movement, particularly in those mid-range guys. I don't know if we've all learned our lesson about signing Timofey Mozgov at $12.05 to $100 million deal.
That was a good one.
But maybe we'll see what happens. There are still dumb GMs in the league ready to throw money around.
Yeah, definitely.
So you have a piece going up with the site launch, probably?
Yeah. Paul George,
and
the People's Champ.
Paul George, the People's Champ. You want to give us a little plug for that?
Yeah, Paul George. I just wrote about how he's come back from that horrific leg injury and how it's made him a better person and what that has to do with him going forward this summer and his career. And it's a real good piece. It's like a Zach Lowe piece.
Oh wow! All right, Kelly is not a humble man. He's throwing his name right in there with Zach Lowe. I respect that. Is that what you're going to be doing a lot of? You're going to be writing a lot of focal point pieces while you're with the 94 Feet Report?
Yeah, because I know there are guys that are on the team that are like analytics. Like I also love analytics too, but there are guys that are better at that than me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna stick to what I know, which is pieces like that. Like, yeah, not Zach Lowe, Black Lowe.
Oh, hey, listen. If that's not your Twitter handle, I mean, you ought to think about it. Speaking of Twitter, you want to get a plug in for your Twitter handle so everybody can give you a follow?
Yeah. My Twitter is Clutch City Kelly, CLUTCH. CITY and Kelly.
All right.
Clutch City Kelly, give me a follow.
All right. Kelly, thanks for coming on the show, man. Thanks for walking us through, free agency. Well, for us, it's still about 12 hours away, but by the time this goes up, it'll be right around time. So,
okay. Sounds good.
You want to give us one exciting prediction before we let you go? What's your your free agency hot take?
Carmelo and Paul Millsap come to the Rockets.
There it is.
Boom.
There it is. We got it. Well, Kelly, thanks for coming on the show, man. He's Kelly Iko. He's written us a great piece on Paul George. Make sure to check it out on the 94 Feet Report. And thanks for coming on the show, man. We can't wait to have you back.
Everybody.
Thanks to Kelly Iko for coming on the show today and talking about free agency. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at And1Analytics. Check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/And1Analytics. And make sure to check out the 94 Feet Report, which launches at midnight and is covering all of your free agency news all weekend long. We will be your source at 94feetreport.com. Thanks for listening. I'm your host, Alex West. See you next time.